Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to review The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. This is the first mystery thriller that I have picked up in quite a while. I ended up rating it 3.5 stars, and I just want to go ahead and share my thoughts with you. For starters, I want to say that thrillers and mysteries are kind of hard to reread. I'm not a big, huge rereader, but I always take into account that for you because a lot of you do like to reread, and I think once you know the outcome or the whodunit part of a story like this, it's hard to reread it with that knowledge and enjoy it as much as you did maybe the first time. So for overall enjoyability, I gave this 4, and for the writing, I gave it 4. It was really engaging, it was really well staged, kept me guessing, and I thought it was quite suspenseful. For the characters, I'm just going to focus on the main character. The main character in this I thought was a little bit one-dimensional, and I would only find things out about her once they were really convenient in the story to find them out, instead of like letting us know that and then having something later happen in the story that may be like connected to that bit of information. The setting I also gave 3 stars. It was set on like a luxury cruise ship of sorts. There were only 10 cabins, so it's not like a huge, Carnival cruise ship, but there were 10 cabins, and it seemed very luxe, and it gave a lot of good descriptions. And it also lent itself to that trapped feeling because she's out in the middle of the ocean. She doesn't know where she is, how long it's going to be till she gets to land. And, things are happening within the story that makes her feel trapped. And it just lent itself to that. And plus, I've been on a cruise. Of course, I went on one of the big Carnival cruises, so I can understand that like trapped feeling. Now, the plot I gave 3 stars. And the reason why is because the first, I would say 70%, maybe 60% was super engaging, super interesting, like fast paced. I would just kept turning. But then you get after that and it just kind of slows down and it kind of drags out and you're just kind of like, ugh, get on with it already. So the build up for her to actually get on the cruise ship was a little bit slow, but it went by fairly quickly in the overall scheme of things. Like I said, the middle was quite a page turner, and then once you kind of find out what's going on, it just slows way down and you just don't even know where it's going to end. Because of the nature of the story, the reread value is quite low, but one thing that I really liked about Ruth Ware, and I have heard other people say this about her writing, I believe it was a review I saw of In a Dark, Dark Wood, if that's by her. I'm probably getting the title wrong. Sorry if I am. But I do want to read that story because I did enjoy their writing overall. And because it's a completely different story, but kind of like in the same genre, I think I'll quite enjoy it. But they said that what they liked, and I also liked it in this, is you're reading it and then all of a sudden you get kind of like a glimpse of the future, and you're trying to wonder like, oh no, how did they get to that point? And you're trying to like piece it together, past and present, but it's not like so much information that it like spoils you on something. It just makes you want to figure out like, how did they get to that point? How did that happen? What's going on? And at first it was a little jarring because I didn't understand what was going on, but then like once the pieces kind of fell into place, I was like, oh, I see what she did there. And I really did enjoy that. So I really liked, they had like emails and message boards and text messages and things like that that I really enjoyed, and I thought it brought a cool element to the story. It was quite engaging for that middle part, and it kept me guessing, and it was suspenseful, and you're just trying to find out like what's going on. But basically the synopsis of the story is that a journalist goes on this luxury cruise line. She is staying in cabin 9, and in the cabin next to her in cabin 10, she meets a woman. She borrows some mascara from her, then she goes to dinner, and then later that night, and yes, she had been drinking quite a bit that day, but she hears a strange noise and she assumes that it sounded to her like a body fell in the water. So she goes out on her balcony and she looks over and there's like this bloody handprint, and she's like, oh my gosh. So she calls security on the cruise line and they start investigating, and then they go to cabin 10 and it's cleared out. Nobody's there. The woman's not there. Nothing's there. It looks like a clean, empty cabin. There's no bloody handprint. None of that. So then she's deciding, what in the world is going on, and she, like, it's her mission to find out what happened to the woman in cabin 10. So because of things that happen in the very beginning of the book, you're kind of wondering, like, is she just off on this bender? Is she just kind of messed up from what happened in the beginning? And also she drinks a lot, so you're wondering, is she just like in this like alcohol induced like state? And you're trying to figure out, like, was there really a woman in cabin 10? And I just really liked the way it unfolded, but it kind of went past that point, and that was like my major flaw with this book. So I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, and if you like kind of mystery thriller type things, I would definitely check this out. I plan on picking up her other book, In a Dark, Dark Wood, because I did like overall the way that it was written. But those are my full thoughts of The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I hope you've enjoyed this quick spoiler-free review. Let me know if you are enjoying these book reviews by giving this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!